Hey everyone, welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. You are watching episode 89 of the Halls of Arden Vul Megadungeon Crawl. The Halls of Arden Vul is by Richard Barton, and we are using the Old School Essential System by Gavin Norman, otherwise known as Necrotic Gnome. My name is John. I'm referee for the evening, and going around the horn we have...
Hi, I'm Mike, and tonight I'll be playing Breggy, the 5th level dwarf.
We would normally have David, but he is dead to us tonight.
Hi everyone, I'm Matt. I play Wolfer Cheek, 5th level fighter, soon to be 6th, and ready to live another day.
Hi everybody, I'm Ted. As usual, tonight I'll be playing Mortis J. Gobliano, and I humbly apologize for missing 2 episodes. I'm very sorry. It was shameful and terrible, and I shall endeavor to expunge my record this evening.
All right, so you guys might see up on the screen that I actually have on Mike's info thing. I actually have him playing brother Lothar, because that's probably going to change relatively quickly based upon what our situation is right now. So right now it is the 14th of Gelenios. It's about 6:30 p.m. They are in the Wet Caves, which is Kilix, the Goblin Kilix domain. That's that sort of nebulous area of natural caves that is in between the Débouchement and Goblintown. So they are currently there because the king's retinue has come up from Goblintown, and thinking that they were going to be celebrating and officiating over the sealing of the deal between the beastmen and the goblins in the Great Hall. However, Neferet put an end to that. So the king called a halt to the retinue, summoned the AV Club to him, and expressed his dismay at what happened. There is the supposition that the halls are overrun with undead that were that used to be the remains of the beastmen that were reanimated by Neferet's massacre, and that are probably now roaming that compound. And one way or the other, whether or not the AV Club decides to do it or not, the goblins don't want to move into the compound unless that place is cleared. They're a little bit cowardly, so they want the territory, but they're not willing to sacrifice their numbers to do so. So we are in the middle of that.
They are willing to sacrifice our numbers.
Yes, exactly. Well, they're goblins.
Oddly enough.
So so you guys have basically been negotiating that. The currently who's in the party right now is indeed Breggy. Mort suddenly pops into existence. Wolford, Sam, and Elizabeth are the 2 retainers. Wolford, however, is invisible. That's a key thing to remember. So
I forgot about that.
Wolford has not made a peep yet. But Wolford did gain enough XP last session to level up to level 6, but he can't do so until he rests. But that is waiting. That is waiting in the wings for him. He has no idea when the invisibility will end. He got this invisibility from reciting one of the stations of the Litany of Light back in the Well of Light. And for those of you who tuned into episode 88, the big momentous thing happening there was that Trefko has assumed control of the baboons in the Well of Light, and has promised to make it not a safe haven, but an area that the PCs can travel through with relative safety, unlike but the rest of the 87 episodes. So that's pretty cool. Looks like Irsko, though, one of the other 4-armed baboon that seems to be in the immediate area, doesn't seem to like you that much, but he is subservient to Trefko. So that's the deal up on up the Well of Light level. Okay, so you guys are down deep now, way down deep in these wet caves, in this very, very strange room bedecked with all of Killick's weird fetishes and things like that, with those strange pebbled doors. This room is a combination of, you've seen a couple of these rooms that are a combination of natural stone, but also have elements of construction. The construction here, though, is that very sort of off-putting, oily, slick, pebbled stone, which you have surmised at this point is a signature architectural style of the Hoppers, right? You've heard the name, that the actual name is supposedly Heketi. So that's where you are right now.
So what sort of deal, if you guys could just reiterate what kind of deal you've made with the king about clearing out the Beastman area? Like, if you're negotiating, what did you negotiate?
We said we'd kind of take a look and see what we could do about it. if I recall correctly. So we didn't give a timeline or anything like that. But our thinking right now is, can we try to get Brother Lothar back up to speed?
Yeah.
Get him a couple eyeballs. Those are always helpful. And if we can, great. If not, at least we could go down there and kind of take a peek and, explore, see if it's as bad as we think it might be. I mean, we were pretty successful last time plowing through them.
Right. But what I was getting at is
we didn't fight them last time. We ran past them last time.
No, we fought them a couple of episodes ago. We did. They were mostly zombies. Yeah, we ran from some. We fought some other ones.
My point is, if we're going to do their dirty work in cleaning out that area for them to occupy, did you negotiate any reward for us?
No.
No.
We didn't have you here. We didn't have your big brain with us.
We were missing the goblin part of the negotiation. But here's the thing. We know some of the treasure that's there. We left it because we were rushing after the stupid invisible stalker.
His Majesty doesn't know that.
No.
Well, you were traipsing around and not reminding us of such things.
What a long nap I had. I feel so well rested and ready to fight undead. What a dream.
You made no promises. You made. I don't even think you voiced a thing saying that you would do it. But I was telling you as a GM, basically, like it's not a clock. You don't have to do it. One way or the other, they'll figure out a way, or they'll come up with some other sort of plan. But it would be to their benefit for you to go in there and clear it out.
Right.
They this is not 5e, so it's not something where like I can guarantee it's going to be balanced encounters the entire way, and that totally a party of 4 can handle it. So just beware. The goblins have no conception of what the actual danger is. So
right.
Nor do we really.
Right.
I'm just thinking like there might be an opportunity to gain something quite tangible. If we're, before we negotiated a settlement and we got a safe haven out of it, great. Now we're actually putting our lives on the line to gain territory. I think that means we should have titles, lands and titles. We should have goblin followers.
The king's right over there. Just talk. I don't know why you haven't said anything so far. Speak up.
I'm sorry. I've been. I had to see my accountant. There was a leak in my plumbing. It's terrible. So you guys you just sort of said we were thinking about going in there, and he said, "Hey, that's cool." Essentially,
basically,
pretty much. Probably use the words "very cool," but I don't want to put words in his mouth.
Probably so.
It was more like, "Hey, these areas are open," and he was like, "Awesome!" And then we were like, "But it's full of undead," and he was like, "Bummer." That was kind of more like the conversation. Sorry, I'm summing up all John's role playing right there.
That's pretty much it, though. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you are you guys interested in actually like making a deal and going for it? Or do we want to just kind of go in on our own, get our treasure that we know about and get out and leave it up to the king?
So my feeling is this. There's shit in there we still want.
Yes.
There's shit in there we haven't explored yet, i.e. like secret rooms and stuff like that. So really, like I thought, basically we didn't negotiate all that, Ted, because A, we didn't want to be beholden to doing it. And okay. B, it was kind of a thing where the exploration itself might be its own reward because we can go back and get some of that stuff that we skipped last time before the goblins swarm in there and take it all. True.
I mean, the things that we know about already are incredibly valuable, like that statue that we had to leave behind, the maps to the complete maps to that level, whatever Mother had in her secret mother closet.
Yep.
We'd like that too.
Right. So it's an issue of timing. Like we go now to get what we know is there before they work up the courage to go in.
Yeah. Also scouting out the problem. Like we don't want to make promises that we don't know if we can keep. If everyone there is now a zombie and there are hundreds of them, maybe it's best that we don't promise to clean it out.
Okay. Right. Yeah. I'm sold.
Okay.
Great.
So,
but first we want to take care of Lothar's eyes?
Yeah. So, Mike, did you want to?
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to do, Ted, before maybe before we got to start, and we're in the wet caves already. John had kind of said that we can hand wave having Lothar brought down to Goblintown. So I just wanted to see if we could maybe hit up Kerbog Khan and see if there's a way that he can restore Lothar's eyes. Because if we're going to go clean out undead, I'd rather have a cleric with us with a little bit of juju behind him than maybe one that does not have so much juju. So that's basically what my thinking was. If it turns into like a major side thing, then I certainly don't want to hoover up the entire like night for that. So we can just figure it out later, right? But maybe we get down there and we find Kerbog Khan and seal some deals with blood, and maybe get me an eyeball, or maybe give me some robotic eyes. It'd be fucking awesome.
Like mirror shade surface, like in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Terminator. I could have little lines in here making fun of you across my display.
We get one of those Cylon things, just by your command.
Okay, what's the plan?
All right, we're gonna go down to Goblintown, John, and hit up our new best friend Kerbog Khan.
Okay, so you need to send people up to go get Lothar. Okay. I'm not, I'll hand wave the role playing of that, but it does take some time. Did you want to basically trade Breggy? Like you want to go back up with Breggy, leave Breggy in the debouchement, take Lothar back down?
Well, we also have quarters in Goblintown, right?
You do. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Breggy takes the tiles, goes up, gets Lothar, and then uses the tiles to teleport down to Goblintown. And then Breggy will go hang out in the quarters there.
Okay.
Until he's next called into service.
Okay. Did you want to bring any of the other retainers in the debouchement with you?
Why don't we have Baronwald, our brand spanking new shiny level 1 cleric, help out his elders and kind of show you the way. He can be your eyeballs until we get you some replacements.
And poor Barrios is going to the Beastman's going to stay up there.
Let's bring him.
Well, you put it like that and you make us feel bad.
You might know stuff about the Beastman complex at this point.
You haven't actually used him, so like if you want to free him from his service, he is glad to go die in the arena.
No, I said let's bring his ass.
I wanted to bring him. I've got him queued up here, so
let's do it. We're bringing him, John.
So you're bringing the full retinue of retainers then, or are you leaving? You want to bring Sam and Elizabeth back up, or leave one of those two up, or?
We're not bringing Gangrene. Gangrene's going to stay in my office up at the debouchement level and take messages.
Okay.
It seems like we should bring Elizabeth because she can heal. Like right now, she's our only party member, albeit a retainer who can heal. So it seems like she would be a good one to leave. Maybe we leave Sam.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so Elizabeth, Baronwald, and Barrios are coming with you. Yeah. Okay, just making a note there. 1 second. Okay, cool. All right. So, so Breggy goes back up, and with a small little escort of goblins, and I'm going to say this. I guess, if you're going to use a teleport circle to go back down, then you guys would probably tell the rest of the party to start going down manually, actually doing the normal route down to the Goblintown, right? So. What the king offers is that now that he's basically met you and he knows that the Beastman thing has been aborted, you can go down with the king's retinue, like in style, basically, if you want to go back down to go with him, right? Because he's going in the same direction. He's going to turn back now. Is that cool?
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
So, guys, I know you weren't thinking about this last week, but of course, Mort is carrying an object we found in the Beastman area that is possibly the scepter we're looking for. You guys remember finding that?
I don't.
I remember finding it.
I think in the wizards area.
I don't remember it being described as possibly that. I mean, we can check and see if it is.
I intend to, but it was described as a scepter, and I believe at one point we heard a rumor that the scepter might be in the Beastman area. We heard multiple rumors about where the Goblin King scepter was. And I thought one of them was that the Beastman might have had it.
I don't remember that one, but okay.
many episodes ago. Anyway, I think
it can't hurt to ask.
We should ask Kerbog Khan about it.
Yeah. The other thing to keep in mind, like after we talked to him, I was thinking if it's kind of cool but not super cool, maybe we could trade with I forget his name, the lieutenant or whatever that kind of guards up at the top that has the platinum rod.
Oh, I'd
That's
like
the
to have
equivalent, right? Right. Maybe if once we find out what this thing is, maybe that might be worth a little swap or a little change.
Yeah, I'm up. It's on the table for sure.
Well, but let's see what it is.
Okay, so you head down. The retinue moves a little bit slower than you guys would as adventurers, because it's a retinue after all. The king is not to be rushed. So I'm going to say you moved at 60. So it takes 2 turns to get down to Goblintown proper, which is where that lieutenant is, the sheriff. I think it's the sheriff. I have to look it up. Down 2 turns, but Breggy moving back up can go very quickly and get it back up to the debouchement in 1. Has to pick up the team, so let's just call it a flat 3 turns for the entire party to sort of meet up in Goblintown. Okay,
John, that's plenty of time for me to spend regaling the king with tales of how brave the AV Club is and how nasty and ferocious all the undead we've been fighting are.
Okay, that's fair enough. If you embellish those tales to make it seem truly awful, then I will say that in keeping with what we've sort of been asking for, that the clock for the goblins making a move on Beastman has basically been completely stopped at this point. He's like they're not. They were going to actively look for other means to do so, but they're not going to. The king is not going to be sending goblin forces into there anytime soon. But other means could mean, for instance, that if because they're in charge of the debouchement and adventurers do come through there, that if some other adventurers perhaps might be able to be brave enough to take on the task, perhaps they can recruit them. Okay, so anyways, after those 3 turns, total it is a squarely at 7 p.m. And I'm going to try a thing here on Miro. Something that I'm supposed to be able to do is actually grab you to where I am. So let me know if this works.
Whoa! Amazing.
Did that work?
That did work.
Okay,
I landed right on the trampoline.
I feel lovingly grabbed.
All right. Okay. So the main party actually does come through. Let's see, where is it here? Goblin Halls. And that's that. Let me find it here. That's this level here. What is the name of that dude?
Oh, what was his name? I remember he talked weird.
He did.
I mean, they all do.
Oh, I could probably find it here.
His name is Reskeem.
Reskeem.
Greetings, O King. Welcome back to your domain.
Oh yeah.
He wields his platinum rod bravely and bows low. Your people await. And then his pet bobcat sort of roars behind him. He's a weird dude.
A weird dude. He's been down here a long time.
Yeah.
Right
on the wind, he hears a whisper. That staff looks ridiculous in your hands.
Who speaks?
Don't worry about it.
Reskeem, you old. I forgot. The king is he's not a British person. He's a mafia gangster. Reskeem, you idiot. Shut your trap and let me through. Okay, so you are in that cave, that intersection, the cave's up there, and the king basically he orders the entire retinue to basically disperse. We're done. The major domo, Palestream, and all those guys, all of his advisors sort of filter off. He says that he himself has some business with the witch doctors and with Rizit. And so he basically is going to take the retinue. Most of the retinue heads south and goes down the ladder that basically drops down to the main floor. But the king and his advisors head down the eastern corridor, the eastern tunnel towards the witch doctors' area and Rizit behind the pillars there, which is where you would probably go as well if you wanted to gain easy access to the spiral staircase that goes down to the ground. Yep. So you could do that, assuming that you're, it's fairly obvious that the king wants his privacy. He doesn't really want anyone hanging around while he's talking to the witch doctors. So assuming you don't front with him, you can just, when he stops at that door, you guys can go right down the spiral staircase and down to the ground.
Is the circlet with David in the NPC shield?
Yep.
Fuck. Yep. Damn you, David.
Sure is. And Mort, are you wearing the death mask of Toristus right now?
I think under the circumstances, I'll have to put it away.
Okay. Okay, so you go down the staircase and you, let's move the Miro map to the second level, or to the ground floor level. You go down that corridor and you enter out into the cacophony and chaos of the main goblin hall. White lizards crawling all over the place, goblins everywhere, all sorts of strange people. You can easily see that there is and remember, this is not Kerbog Khan. This is one of his exploration automatons, through which he speaks and acts. Right. So just make that very, very clear. You have never ever actually seen Kerbog Khan, nor do you know his nature.
Correct.
Yeah.
Little question, John. Mm-hmm. As we, if we see one of those automatons, I'm curious to note whether or not he seems to see or sense Wolfhurt as an invisible person.
Good question. Yeah, it does not appear to recognize you, but again, it's like a weird mechanical body, like almost like a robot body with like plasteel elements from like Radishva technology. But there is an old ancient Arcantian bronze head with a beard, which is known by the goblins as Old Beardless, with like the curly, carved locks and stuff like that. Like an old Roman emperor sort of thing. So
like stuck on the top of it, right?
Yeah, stuck on the top. Looks very kind of is it anachronistic? Not anachronistic. They don't combine well.
They don't.
Right.
But my point being for Matt is that the eyes are they have like faceted gems in them, and it's tough to tell what he's looking at any given time. But they don't it doesn't like turn towards you, or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you did like a sudden move, leaping at it, kind of thing, he might react.
Okay, I scratched myself in an inappropriate way. Does he seem to notice, or
he does not seem to notice? Yeah,
okay.
But there are still the Setites are still around. You do see like on the upper halls, you can see the looming form in the shadowed form of like one of the Varumani ambassadors is still up there in the Goblin Court. And the white lizards are all around, and you've got that strange statue in the center, the fire pit, remember, and the fountain with the water and all that kind of good stuff. The ogre guards are in position and watching, the whole 9 yards. Everything seems pretty much status quo here. What do you do?
All right. Well, we should go and approach the automaton.
Well, am I there now, John? Is Breggy brought Lothar down to the marketplace?
Yeah, everyone's together. That's why I took 3 turns instead of 2.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So just point me in the right direction, guys. I will wander up to Kerbog Khan's automaton and bounce off of it, and then go, "Who's there? Wait, I'm not old. That's Matt's thing.
Yeah, marching on my brand.
Whiskin. I forgot Whiskin is from like West Texas. Got it. All right. Hey there, little automaton.
The old. That was better.
Yeah, that is actually something that I don't think I mentioned, is that the automaton is actually kind of little. I think it's only about 4.5 feet tall.
Gotcha.
So it is actually really.
And I'm rather large and even slightly rotund.
Yes.
Which is, nice for my armor. So I touch its head and I go, Kerbog Khan, is that you?
Why, yes, it is. I am the Kerbog Khan, or I should be more specific in saying that I am projecting through one of my automatons. I don't know if I've had the pleasure. Actually, let me speak to my GM. GM, do you remember if Lothar was actually ever meet Kerbog Khan? I don't know.
I think I did in the Goblin Marketplace last time.
Okay. Well, it is a pleasure to see you again, Brother Lothar. How is my friend from the north? What news from the Whiskin lands?
Well, sir, I have not heard too much news from the Whiskin lands, and I don't know what your visual acuity is, but can you see my face? Do you notice anything different?
Why, yes, you do appear to be shorn of your eyes.
Yes, unfortunately, in a magical mishap of the worst kind, I looked at the wrong book for just a tad too long, and my eyes were ripped from my sockets.
Ah, yes, Pohl's treatise on scrying. I know it well. Very foolish of you. I am very sorry to hear what happened.
Well, I feel foolish as well. And also, I feel a little bit like I would be maybe slightly more useful to the AV club if I could see things before I tried to fight them.
That would probably be the case, yes.
You being such a powerful spellcaster and one who is willing to do deals without having to make me give up my prize god Odin, do you have any way to regenerate both or even one of these eyes?
Wow. He kind of laughs like tinnily through. Remember, again, like the mouth isn't moving or anything. You know, it's just like the beard face is just staring at you.
Very Doctor Who.
I do not have the ability to regenerate eyes, but I think, and you could kind of hear like gears whirring. He's like, I believe I could probably help you out if you were willing to give me something in return, of course. I could probably return sight if time is pressing, at least in one eye. You are a worshiper of Odin, yes?
I am.
Wow, that might be fairly
great.
fairly apropos.
Perfectly.
Why, yes. I don't know if it'll restore your wisdom. I highly doubt it, but.
Well, I would certainly
can't restore what was never there in the first place.
Oh, shut up. You guys are so mean. Bunch of assholes with you here.
I'm over here. Hey, throw something at
You wait. Fun and game so you lose an eye. All right. So anyway, one eye. Are we talking about actually organic eyes, or is there some sort of magical item that you are willing to part
It would be a
with?
complicated procedure that's in the field that I specialize in. It's known as techno sorcery. You would have I would have to kind of feel out the procedure as I go. Likely to be quite painful. Probably cause some permanent damage, but you would be granted sight again. I can guarantee it.
What kind of permanent damage are we talking about here?
Disfigurement, the usual.
Oh, that's just. All right. Well, obviously
losing your sense of smell.
Yeah, that's just long COVID. Obviously, there's probably not much that we have come across in the halls that you have not. However, we have acquired some books from the Library of Thoth about the books. What'd you say, Matt? What was it? I don't want to screw us here.
No, I think that Wolfhard will Legend, tell him that we know what the location of the Library of Thoth, and if that's not enough, we know the location of the secret Library of Thoth.
Okay,
that's going to be worth something good.
I say that, and I also say that we do have the tome that caused me to lose my eyeballs in the first place, if that's of any interest to you as well.
Well, you do. Well, I would certainly take that in trade. Have you perused it yourself entirely?
Well, I only got to about page 7.
A very, very rare and powerful book. Yes, I feel that. I think that would be a fair trade indeed. You have the book on you right now?
We do, I think. Yeah.
In preparation for this, we certainly do. Somebody's carrying it because we were just at the stash and we knew we were going to offer this.
All right, so let's show it to him, but obviously only the cover, not the inside. So if it's powerful, what I saw in the first 6 crystalline pages looked as if they were viewpoints from various parts of the dungeon. And then each page was protected by a sheet of parchment between them, as if to protect the crystalline pages.
Not technically, Mike. It was there was some parchment that was folded around the entire set of crystalline pages. So once you opened like the first parchment page, which sort of gave like the title page, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Then it was the crystalline.
I guess I was picturing them as like buffers between the various pages.
No, so like the crystalline's all of one set, encased by a parchment.
But there was no other like documentation inside. There was no other words, right? There was just the page. The cover page, which was the description of the book.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're not giving up any information other than the remote visual spots, right? That was it.
Yep. And perhaps any secrets that were on the pages that you never got to.
Right. Good luck with those. Okay. David will probably be mad, but I want my eyeballs back, man. I'm okay with this. What, Ted?
Well, I just want to, Mort will pipe in and say, mighty Kerbog Khan, this is, of course, as you noted, a rare and powerful artifact, probably worth more than one lousy eyeball. Would you be willing to throw in an identify of an object while we're at it?
Mortis, I would have to say that your boldness is very impressive. I was actually going to say the opposite, that the installation of sight back to a creature after such traumatic experience is a simple book will probably not do, especially a book that I have heard of before. But I did hear you say that you did know of the location of the Library of Thoth. I too know where the library is. However, I have not been able to access it, for the doors are locked. If you have been in there, that means you must have the key or knowledge of the access. The key to the Library of Thoth, plus the Pole's treatise on scrying. Now that would definitely be worth the creation of an eye for our blind brother there.
I feel like that's a two-eyeball deal.
And an identification.
Well, he sort of looks like the head sort of looks around. Plenty of other customers around. Lots of business to do.
I pushed the goblin away. Just feeling around. I probably touch him in an inappropriate spot because I can't see his face.
Weave.
Now, all right. We do have the key, correct? And guys, the door's now unlocked, so we don't actually need the key anymore, correct? And we've already looted the shit out of that library anyway. So it's kind of like what Matt was saying. It's like one of those things where it's cool for him to have it. It's not really going to negatively impact us that we know of at this point, correct? And this is the library, not the secret library.
Right. Right.
Well, the secret library is empty, right?
I think there are still secrets to be learned in the library, but I think my assessment is that whatever they are, we're not likely to find them easily.
We were in there with the true seeing circlet. So it's kind of like, I feel like we looted it for books. We got the disco ball. Yes. I'm going to say yes. I want my eyeballs back. Are you guys cool with this? Giving him the key?
He can't throw in that one little identify for me?
Because it seemed like you were willing to do it just for the book there for a little while until our little friend here spoke up.
Well, I feel that you were sort of running roughshod over me with the terms of your deal, and I just wanted to find an opening where I could actually speak what my terms would actually have been.
All right. So, Mr. Khan, great and powerful archmage that you are, we do have the key to the Library of Thoth. We have been inside it. We can tell you what we saw there and some of the dangers that it involves. Plus, we have the book of what's his name, the guy who ripped off my eyeballs. Would that be worth 2 eyeballs or 1 eyeball?
1 eyeball and an identify.
Or 1 eyeball and an identify.
Wait, so you're saying that you're not going to give him the key? You're just going to tell him about the room, but you're going to angle for 2 eyeballs?
No, we're giving him the key.
Oh, you are giving him the key. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll give him the key.
Yeah.
We'll give him the key. We'll give him an eyewitness account of the inside of the library and the dangers that it contains.
Huh?
And then we will also give him the book with of the stolen eyeballs.
Okay.
Oh, and if we need to get in, he'll let us in the future. Just if something comes up and we need to get in, you'd let us back in if we give you our key.
Well, he might not be there.
Right.
I mean, maybe we can borrow it or make a copy or something.
Yeah, that's fine. So, Mike, do you want both? So what I'm saying as game wise,
no real mechanical difference between 1 or 2.
That's correct.
Right?
Yeah. So if you want a cosmetic, like very Odin sort of thing, maybe
I do like that. I'm now that I've lost 2 eyeballs, I'm kind of worried about not having a spare.
And you want 3 eyeballs.
Yeah, I'm
go for 3,
eyeball.
man. If you're go for broke.
I am cool with just 1 eyeball. So if we give him all that stuff for 1 eye, can we get Ted's identify as well so he feels like he's special and pretty?
I do want to be pretty.
What do you want to identify, Ted?
The scepter that I found in the Beastman lair that was being used as like a curtain rod.
Are you sure that that's magic? Before we waste an identify on it.
Do you have a page number for that, Ted?
Just a second. Yeah, hold on. The page number would be 207.
One moment.
And we did not get a gold piece value as we usually do from things. So I kind of inferred that it was significant.
Could also just be a curtain rod.
It was described as a scepter.
Oh, this is
and it seemed to have some meaning for them as well. Like they didn't make it. It wasn't of Beastman manufacture,
which is why I think it's Goblin.
They seemed to imply it had some meaning.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes, they will. He'll throw that in.
Okay. Let's do it. And all deals must be sealed with blood.
Yes. So he actually says that at the very end. And of course, all deals must be sealed in blood. And like goblins are sort of wandering around, and they kind of perk up, and you can hear them saying in the background, "All deals must be sealed in blood."
It's like when Norm walks into Cheers, man.
Very much so. Yeah. They all like cackle. Some of them kind of turn to see if this actually happens.
Let's do it, man. I'm excited about this. There's nothing possibly that can go wrong here.
Okay, so the chest cavity, his chest cavity opens up like shink, like the plasteel, right? And it's like the little cavity there to place your blood sample. And there's like a little vial that he hands to you.
Okay, I do it.
Okay, cool. Lose a hit point.
Okay.
It's a lot of blood, man.
He takes the blood and puts it back into his cavity. The old beardless nods his head, and he kind of looks around and he says, "Now I think this is a very complicated procedure, something that I would normally have to do in my own workshops, but I do have the material components here. You know what I need though are tools, and I do think that the goblins being what they are, that we have just the place, and I do think the king owes me a favor. Right this way, gentlemen, follow me." And he's like clank, 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 sort of like C-3PO as he kind of walks off. I was wrong, by the way. I looked it up. He's not 4.5 feet tall. He's 3.5 feet tall. So he's like a little half.
Oh, he's a Jawa.
He's like a little dude. Yeah. So he walks westward with you, past the fire pit, into that
torture, isn't he?
So yeah, exactly, Ted. He takes you into the place where you actually picked up Barrios, the area like the interrogation, not the interrogation chamber, but the judgment hall. What's my room number for that? It's that.
He's taking you to Agoravir, the torturer. Oh, this is going to be painful, dude.
One moment, please.
And he was quite foolish. He was going to get that blood for free anyway. I think there's going to be plenty of blood around.
So I don't properly replace your eye.
You're not supportive at all.
So he takes you into the judgment hall.
But I'm going to have to. Sorry.
If you remember, this was a very, very large square chamber. Besides, of course, the 4 cages that held the prisoners, one of which was Barrios, the most dominating feature of the place is those very, very strange, 15 feet tall, 10 foot wide obsidian doors. I can't. I know that's just sort of numbers, but if you think of 15 feet high doors, that's like a story and a half, right? It's big doors. That are looming along the western wall. And it looks like there's centuries of smoke and grime that have built up here, have basically served to completely cover the original frescoes on the northern and southern walls. And there were these 6 iron posts that were in the middle of the ground as well, where there are shackled beings, and there are like young goblins kind of around just like hurling tomatoes and feces and stuff like that at these poor prisoners. However, the Kerbog Khan, old beardless, takes you through the archway to the north, which you have not been to yet. Ted, it's time to map.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, hold on.
So it's an archway to the north, and it goes for 10 feet to the north before opening up into a chamber that is 20 feet east to west by 30 feet north to south, and you're entering in from the southern end of the south. I'm sorry, the western end of the southern wall.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. So the corridor is from the center of this room.
You already had the archway written there, Ted. So it goes for 10 feet.
10 feet.
Yep, and then it opens up into 20 feet east to west, 30 feet north to south. I'm going to make a couple of adjustments when I'm just giving you the basic dimensions right now. And you're entering in from the western part of the southern wall.
Okay.
Oh, I can switch it over for the folks here to see Ted's excellent mapping, which I'm sure he will definitely get correct on the first shot.
Go, Ted, go. Go, Ted, go.
And what is that number for me? It's that. Okay. Right. Yes. Okay. Good, Ted. So now there are a couple of additional features in this room. So you might have to erase a couple of lines here, Ted. So first of all, there is a door on the western wall at the very top. Okay. There is, and there are a couple of side passageways that lead out from this room, but both are sort of cut off by rough stone. Like it looks like the goblins were basically carving out. We're trying to expand outwards from this room that is actually originally Archontian. Okay, so the room continues on for another 10 feet on the western wall. It continues north along the western wall for another 10 feet before sort of roughly breaking off. All right.
Right here?
Yep, exactly. And then, so it just roughly cuts off there. And then,
you mean like rubble or
like they were mining forward, and
see.
they just sort of stopped. Yeah,
and then stopped.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the same sort of thing is also directly on the eastern wall in the middle of it. That goes for like 10 feet and then breaks off. Okay, now that door is open. Okay, and through the door, you can actually hear the sound of active mining going on, like pickaxes, grunts. Obviously goblin coming through that door. Okay. There's also a slight breeze that is sort of giving this place a little bit of a draft. But the room itself is a place of horror. It is it looks like the walls at one time had frescoes, but they've been deliberately stripped of any decoration. There are 3 low tables that are fitted with restraints that occupy the center of the room. Lothar, you get a sinking feeling as you walk into that room, as you know that your destiny probably lies upon one of those tables, restrained.
I don't see any of this, John.
That's true. That's true. Yes. I'm sure your companions are more than happy in delighted tones to tell you all the details as you walk in.
Yeah, Wolford's leaning into his ear. Okay, there's a big, scary-looking table right over there. There are straps and spikes on it.
Pay attention. Don't pay attention.
This is going to really hurt.
Not the pear. Don't give me the pear.
In addition, Wolford can gleefully whisper into your ear that there is on a table a fine collection of razor-sharp knives and other tools with which to aid. I love the way that Richard actually wrote this. With which to aid the recall of unfortunate prisoners. There are 3 sets of shackles that have been attached to the western wall. 2 of them are empty, but one of them, and actually one of the empty shackles is actually at halfling height. But one full one is actually one set of shackles contains the drooped form of a woman with dirty blonde hair that is like completely dirty and matted, that is basically obscuring her face because her head is down, but you can see her sort of twitch every once in a while to sort of show that she's still alive, but she does not look like she is in good shape at all. She's basically wearing like a dirty shift, right? And you see come out of the eastern side, I believe. Let me just check. I think it's the eastern side. Yes. So from that eastern fragment of a corridor, just like the skeeviest looking goblin comes out, right? Like he's got like these weird, he's got like a smock on, and that smock is stained with blood. He has a hunched back, so he's smaller than your average goblin, and he sort of drags like a club foot as he sort of walks in, and he has lank, like wisps of black, nasty hair, sort of like Smeagol-like, right? Like just sort of, as he comes out. And he's got like one bulging eye. The other one has been sewn shut, so it looks like a tight little sewn sphincter, like for an eye, and one like bulging one.
Is his name Sphincter Eye?
His name is Agoravir, the Interrogator.
Oh, okay.
And he says,
Your anesthesiologist is here.
Khan, what have you brought for me? More guests?
And Khan is like, well, old friend, no, I'm afraid not. I actually would wish to inquire if we might partake of one of your beds. I have a job that I need to do, and I would really appreciate some privacy. I do believe that the king owes me, so I would really appreciate it if you don't wish to bring down the fury of the king upon your lovely crown. And Agoravir sort of sneers, and he's like, very well, then. And he sort of drags his ass off into that through that door.
Well, he seemed nice.
John, when he goes, can I want to, Wolford wants to like peek in and like see what's going on down that,
through the hallway?
that door.
Or through the door? Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
Once we get Lothar up on the table, I think we should all just give him a pat on the shoulder and tell him good luck, and we all leave. And he sits through this alone.
Give us a call when you need a ride home.
That's right.
You'll be on some anesthesia. Yeah.
You should go check out the woman that's chained up and see if we know her.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So through
let's talk to her.
through the doorway, Wolford, your invisible self sees that after 10 feet of Arcantian corridor, it opens up into a large natural cavern that has been heavily chiseled at in basically all directions. There appear to be 5. Oh, actually, yeah. So there are 5 prisoners that have all been shackled together at the feet by a thick chain, and they're all wielding pickaxes and mattocks to try to expand the cave in certain directions. They are being watched over by a trio of goblin guards, and so like it's relatively dark. They're only working by like torchlight. They look miserable. They're the prisoners. There are 2 goblins. One of them appears to be a scaled and very largely muscled lizard man. One appears to be a miserable pale human. Actually, 2 of them. 2 of them actually appear to be pale humans. One of them is actually gagged. Actually, has like a nasty rag wrapped, in his mouth as he works. Okay, and the goblins have, are chivying them to work harder and faster, and they just look miserable. Okay.
Does that lizard man look like the one that we saw in the cage before, who was like they called him a prince or something?
Yeah, so you could easily tell it's the same species, but you don't know enough about lizard men to sort of like, they like basically, you can't really tell if it's the same one. You have a feeling it's not.
You're calling me a lizard man racist, John.
Yeah, they all look the same to you. Yeah. But no, you can probably tell that it's not the same one, but it does look like the same species. Yeah.
Okay.
Mort, when you look at the prisoner, and remember, you're not invisible, so you looking, draws attention. But whatever, there's no one in here really, except for you guys and Khan.
It's a very bossy sort of imperialist goblin. He just does what he likes, and dares anyone to say otherwise.
Yes, exactly. So the prisoner again has her head sort of down, like hanging down, and she's shackled up on the wall, hair in her face, and it doesn't, obviously human. You can tell that for sure, but not anyone that you've recognized.
If he, kind of pats her on the face, does she wake up at all?
Her head lolls, and she sort of peers up a little bit through like the hair. Again, she has no way of like brushing it out of her face, but she peers up with you and just suffering pain in the eyes,
And he'll say, "For what crime are you shackled here?"
Help me. Help me. That's all she can get out. Goblins aren't great
right now. Nope.
Yeah. Welcome to your allies.
Yeah.
As David would
Fine,
point out,
fine,
nobody's
gentlemen.
a good guy. Nobody's a good guy here.
Well, Brother Lothar, I don't think you probably want to know the circumstances of your surroundings at the moment, but I will guide you over to this very comfortable bed. Pay no attention to the pressure that you will feel on your ankles and wrists. It's purely for your own safety. Right this way, sir?
This place is clean, is it not? It's very clean.
Very clean, totally sterile. Absolutely, I guarantee it.
Of soapy water in that satchel there.
Could you spit on that knife before you use it first? And grab it a little bit?
I'm in the mining cave.
Oh,
John, I will gleefully lay down on this 5-star accommodation bed, just fling my hands out like this. And
Strangely,
"Save me, baby."
Strangely, it is not as comfortable as you envisioned. What's more, the redolent stench of iron sort of assaults your nostrils, and you don't think that's from steel. You think that might be from the high blood content that is seeped into the stable itself.
Well, yeah, okay. You can't make omelets without breaking some eyeballs.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shall we get to work, sir?
Let's do it. Let's do it. We can rebuild him.
Feel free to pray as we go along. All right.
Oh, I'll pray. I'll pray. I'll scream. I'll cry.
Okay. So we won't go into the gruesome details, but suffice it to say that there is no anesthetic. There is no way to dull the pain, and it is very, very painful. Now, what you guys see, Morton, Wolford, and the retainers, sorry, is something that you've never seen before. It's a very, very bizarre thing. So the automaton actually works with skill. All right, so it's these sort of mechanical arms. He actually reaches into his chest cavity at a number of times to pull out certain tools. But it's obvious too, at the same time that he's working with technology, that he's also chanting as well. And you can see that there are little arcs of like blue fire and arcane glyphs that sort of appear in the air at the same time as he's working on Lothar's face at the same time. So it's like this weird amalgamation of both science, which just looks like another form of magic to you, and actual like magic, which you sort of recognize. Yeah. You were gonna say something, Matt?
Well, Ted was first. I think he had his hand up.
well, it occurs to me that if the automaton is busy bending over his patient, and the room has been cleared of other goblins, I think I'm going to get behind it, put on the Mask of Toresis, and I want to use True Seeing on what's happening here.
Okay, cool. So there is no illusion going on, but everything that you see is magical.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I don't see invisible parts of the automaton or any kind of evidence that Kerbog Khan is in the room or anything like that.
But yeah, I guess it does. So the automaton itself is definitely enchanted. The entire thing is enchanted. Everything in it is enchanted as well. And it's fairly obvious too that everything that is basically being channeled is also magical as well. So,
but it's all seems to be focused on the automaton. It's not like coming from outside him or
no.
I don't see a tunnel of time or weird things like that. It's
Well, there's obviously a time tunnel, but aside from the time tunnel,
I'll say this, Ted, that the mask would probably show is that because he does open his chest cavity often during the procedure, that there is that vial of blood in there, and every time he uses magic, like where he's actually working on Lothar and using techno-sorcery, that vial glows brighter than everything else around. Like, he himself is also magical,
okay.
But it becomes very obvious to you that the blood is the source of, or is tied intrinsically to the magic that is being cast.
Yep.
Interesting.
Okay.
So
that is the little bit that I was hoping, something like that, to find out. That's cool. Thank you.
one other thing that you see is an invisible Wolford scratching his nuts and then reaching into the bag and pulling out a flask of whiskey and kind of covertly pouring it into Lothar's mouth out of a little bit of pity.
Yeah,
a little bit of extra.
That's nicer than flicking boogers into the wound.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do that too.
I'll let you do it. I don't think that Kerbog would. Well, I guess if you're invisible, yeah, maybe. I mean, because he's like right over like Lothar's face, but it's fine.
Maybe you should drink the whiskey, Wilford.
Yeah.
I take a swig first.
It is a very harrowing thing to witness. It's pretty awful. But he works with skill and precision, and it's obvious that if this is what he's able to do through his automaton, you can only imagine what the wizard, whatever form he takes, can do himself. Anyways, the whole procedure takes 1 hour to finish. In that span of time,
I put my arm around Baronwald's shoulder and I'll say, "Well, Baronwald, Welcome to the AV club. It's a man's life.
yeah, exactly. Bearball looks. I probably should roll a loyalty check for that poor dude. That is pretty rough, but we'll let it pass.
Our healthcare plan is really, really good.
Like, and this is what we do to our friends who we like.
This is saving this guy.
Don't
Okay,
ask
anyway.
about Darius.
We have to take our first break really soon, but let me get through this. So, after the procedure ends, this is basically what happens to Lothar. All right. So he grafts a faceted black gem. You're not really sure what it is, but it's more as you're watching the procedure, you can tell that the gem itself is magical into your empty eye socket. So he basically first widens the socket beyond what a normal eye would be. Places, we won't go into detail, but then he grafts that thing into your skull. Into the socket. Then he attaches a metallic device that he basically makes from scratch that sits on your ear like a headset, almost like an over the ear, not over the ear, but like on the behind on the ridge there, right? And it wraps around your head, okay, and then has like a setting that basically fits, that suspends in air right over the eye, right? Then he attaches a telescoping rod that attaches between that device and the gem itself. So there is no gap anymore, right? There's actually like a small little tube that connects that attaches to the gem right to the setting, right? That setting has a lens in it, and that lens operates sort of like an old school like camera shutter. So it has like an iris, like a shink, multiple blades of steel. And that is tied to your nervous system so that when you do a natural blink, it shudders. Like, and you can actually hear that sort of whisper quietly, when you blink. Now, it gives the impression when you have your eye open that you would think it's like a Terminator red eye. It's not that. What it gives the impression of is of deep, glimmering blackness. So there's no color to your eye at all, but it's very obviously very, very remarkable. And it gives everyone the impression when they look at you as if it is a very large raven's eye when they look at you.
God damn metal, John. That's awesome.
So he kind of steps back after it's done. You've been jerking in the table the entire time, but he manages to like keep your head's like basically locked in place. And he kind of steps back, and he old beardless sort of cocks its head a little bit and looks sightlessly at you to kind of look at his work. And he's like, I do believe that this is very apropos of your deity, and I'd like to say this is some of my finest work yet. So you're not exactly the prettiest person, but have a look around. And as you do so, you can actually see through there. And your vision is, you can tell that you're only looking through one eye. It takes a little while to get used to, but it equates to basically normal vision. In addition, however, the fearsome aspect and the techno-sorcery that has been imbued in this eye allows you the mechanical effect to be able to cast the third level illusionist spell Fear through the eye once per day, and it will affect any creature with sight that beholds the eye, but it does have some provisos. Creatures with more than 4+1 hit dice are not affected, and those that are immune to mind affecting or enchantment effects are also not affected. Okay, so like undead, right?
Right.
And big powerful creatures could give a shit. But goblins, for instance, would be very terrified of this thing. But you have to will that to happen, right? To actually have that magical effect. But of course, it is very unnerving in general. So, probably trigger some reaction rolls in general. Cool. In return for that ability and your sight returning, you take these penalties. Roll me 1d4.
Oh.
Doopy-doo.
You have a negative charisma.
A 1.
1?
1 is what I rolled.
That's awesome, because that means you permanently lose 1 hit point. So your max is reduced by 1 total.
Okay.
So not too bad. And you automatically, this is just straight up without a roll, you lose permanently 1 point of charisma.
Okay. My charisma just dropped from a 15 to a 14. I'll have to go in the books and see if that changes anything. Okay, cool. That's awesome, John. That's metal at AF.
Now, of course, you do need to give him the stuff, right?
Yes, we do.
How do we do that?
I will
put it into the chest cavity.
Yeah. I will sketch out the outline of the on a piece of parchment, the outline of the inside of the library and the stacks. And then I will tell him I'll write down notes about the baboons that react if someone makes noise in there and how dangerous they are.
Okay.
Also, before we give up that key, Wolford will pull out a couple of blocks of wax and he's going to press them on the key so that we have a mold, a cavity mold of the key.
Okay, cool.
And obviously we'll let him know where it is. We'll do like a rough sketch of the dungeon floor kind of thing. And put warning baboon territory on there.
Okay, cool. Give me 1 second. And then Ted, he promised to identify that thing, rod. Right? Yeah. So the rod, okay, is he can tell you as he looks at it that this is obviously something that was a symbol of office for beastmen. He can tell that immediately. But in addition, it looks like it was probably belonged to one of the beastman counts, which tracks with where you found it. Because you have found it in what you assumed was Count Sclerus's chamber, but actually wasn't. It was actually one of the other counts. But it acts, more than its symbolic nature, it acts also as a wand of dispel fear. And he can tell you very clearly that it has 10 charges left.
That could be quite useful.
Yeah,
that's great.
Would have been very nice to have in another arc that we once went through.
Yeah, I can't use that.
Is that only magical fear, John, or would that assist people that have failed a morale check?
That's a good question. I think it's probably rules as intended. It's probably just magical fear, but I think that I don't know why it wouldn't affect mundane fear as well, right? As a rod of office, I think it would have been used in that manner frequently. As a commander of the Tagmata, that count would have used it to rally his troops. If they were shaken in some sort of way, right? That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Can we stick it in Mike's other eye hole so he can giveth and taketh away?
Yeah. So right. He was happy to do that for you, but he can confirm that is a Beastman item. It is not the scepter for the scepter that you're looking for. And he doesn't have any information on that. But if you do find out what the Goblin Scepter really is, I would really appreciate it. I could do many services for you in return. But yeah, that'll do it. We'll take our first break, and we will be right back. Okay, we are back. Bladders empty, beers full. So yes, the procedure is over. Kerbog Khan thanks you for your business, and I hope to see you again soon. This was truly an enjoyable afternoon. Early evening, I should say.
I'm like staggering out and bumping into things because I'm not used to it yet.
Go forth and see, my friend.
So Wolford will sneak up to your ear. He's still invisible? I assume?
Still invisible.
Oh man, this is okay. This is going to take some getting used to. But he comes up and asks, "So do you still have the heat? Can you still see in the dark?"
He couldn't before.
I couldn't before.
You couldn't before? I thought dwarves could do that.
He's not a dwarf.
That was Briggy.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. You suddenly changed from a dwarf into a human.
Right. Sorry.
All right. So what's the plan?
No, but that's awesome. So guys, I apparently I took some damage during that whole process. So I think we should rest here for the night in our quarters. I'll hit myself with a heal spell, and then we should get up the next morning and go do some undead.
I think that's great. I have a feeling that resting would do me an amazing amount of good, even though I'm perfectly healthy at the moment. But before we leave this area, John, Wolford, so he's pretty fresh. Like it was just, it was very recently that we were talking to Lady Alexia, and we were talking about these doors, right? Mm-hmm. That the rods, these mysterious rods, may somehow open. And he's looking at these obsidian doors. Is there a connection here? I know we've been down here before and we looked at them before, but now that this is kind of fresh. Yeah.
Right. So in your chat with Lady Alexia, the general rumor is like one of the great iconic locations, maybe the most iconic location in the halls of Arden Vul is what's known as the Obsidian Gates. Okay. And they're described, again, Lexi was careful to tell you that she obviously hasn't seen them herself. She heard these from reports, that they're a pair of black stone doors, beyond which the tales always tell that there's like the fabled wealth of several lost civilizations behind them. What makes them so iconic is the fact that no known person has ever been able to penetrate the doors. They've never been able to get through. But there's always like these rumors that there's a surefire way. Some of them include like tracing strange glyphs on the doors 3 times. Some of them are like you have to sacrifice to the correct god in front of the gates. There's rumors that there are stone guardians whose fingers actually act as keys to the gates, things like that. But there is supposed to be the like vast and untold strange treasures beyond them. That from civilizations that predate the Archontian occupation. Yeah, so that's the deal you get. Now, when that's what you recall. Now, when you're looking at these, they're pretty big. They're 15 feet tall. They are made out of obsidian. Now, you're not seeing any arcane glyphs or anything like that, but they do have these strange mechanisms on them that you do recall from the last time you were here. That may have only been Mort, but regardless. So they have 4 obsidian posts protrude from the doors at eye level, 2 on each of the double doors. Okay. The posts are exactly 8 inches apart, the 2 of them. And then when you looked closely at them, and you're doing so again, there are small steel needles extending only about 1/8 of an inch above the surface of the door. Okay. Yeah.
In the position of them is such that if you were to bridge the 2 things with something else, would you be making a handle?
No. Well, I mean, yeah, but that doesn't. You could probably make like a makeshift one, but it doesn't look like that was the intent.
Okay.
Do the needles, John, and sorry if this is going to be anachronistic as well. You know, like when you put like a circuit onto a circuit board, there's the little needles that look like they mesh like that. Is that kind of like what the impression would be?
No, not really. But you're kind of getting warmer.
Each one is like one needle, or each one has like a little array of needles that sticks out.
Let's see. I'm going to check here. It's like an array.
Okay.
Do they form a pattern?
Not that you can see. No.
Okay.
Huh. You know what? So Wolford's going to go up to them, and the needles that stick out, you know that wax block that he made the key copy of?
Yeah.
He's going to take it and just like get an impression of those needles that stick out.
Cool. Sure,
so he can see what that pattern is, and he'll do one on each of the 4 kind of in the same orientation. So if we ever find something in our travels that has like little like needle holes, we can see if they kind of match up.
Right. Okay, cool.
Are the protuberances the same diameter as our golden rod?
No, they are not. They're actually a little bit smaller.
And we've examined the golden rod, and there's no evidence of little holes on the ends.
There's not, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. Should we rest for the night?
Yeah, let's do it. But one more question, because this is so cool where we are right now. The cages, are the same people in the cages now that were here? I mean, this is Wolford's first time here, I think, but
it's the same.
Before
same
there was like a lizard man prince. Oh, they're the same guys?
Yeah. So the lizard man prince is there. Narbo, the elven magic user, an actual hopper, a Heketi hopper, is in one of them hissing.
Rude.
And I think that was it. Well, the Barrios, right?
King's brother.
Yeah. Oh, the king's brother. That's right. Yeah. Yes.
Perbreen.
Perbreen, the half brother of King Weskeenum. He must have screwed up. And Barrios was here. Barrios is obviously very much looking forward to leaving this chamber as soon as possible. So when Lothar is like, "Can we get some rest?" Barrios is like, "That would be fantastic."
We'll get you out of here. Don't worry.
Anything else you want to do in the room?
No, I think that's it. Wolford's just very curious to see if he goes to sleep, if he's going to wake up still invisible.
How much do you guys want to bet, though, that Kerbog Khan can now see everything that I see through my eyeball?
I wondered about that. Yep.
Yeah.
If I were him, I'd have done that for sure.
Ted, your treasure tracker is still up to date, right?
What's that?
Your treasure tracker is still up to date? Are you still using that?
Yeah. I just added some stuff to it. And I made a note that we gave away the book and the keys. But we have I should actually make a note.
Okay.
Nobody tell David when this episode posts, please.
Hold on one second. I'm just cross-referencing something that you wrote down here, Ted.
Oh.
Okay.
Such
as?
I don't think you have them on you. I think they are in the stash. But I'm going to give you this because it was a long time ago and I don't expect the retention. You found back in episode 72, so quite some time ago, there were 4 28-inch diameter gold discs.
Oh, yeah.
With 1-inch holes in the center. When you look at the posts, you can recall that the size of those posts would fit pretty much perfectly the holes of those gold discs, and there are 4 of them.
Well.
It jogged my memory. I was like, I think they found this.
See, no, John, this is exactly what we're talking about. We have a plan. Our plan is proceeding. You want the new shiny thing.
You don't have them with you.
A new shiny thing.
They are in the stash.
Literally 4 shiny things.
A, they're in the stash, and B, I don't really want to open this door in full view of all the goblins. I think we need to figure out a plan about that. So this is not a good time to do it.
So just to be clear, where you found those, in case you want to draw your own conclusions,
right?
That's correct.
Yeah,
you got it. Yep, that was in his secret, like beyond all the undead, like his secret chambers, where his actual tomb was. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So make a note. Exciting.
Let's go crash in our quarters here.
Yeah, okay, so you make your way up to the upper levels through the court, and remember, you were given the old chambers of the Sunscarred Knight. I'd actually anticipated that this would be the primary place where you'd be resting all the time. You decided to hang out mostly in the debouche, though. But this is, just to be clear, a much more secure place than the debouchement, right? A lot of traffic going on in debouchement, much more danger, or chance of danger. But here it's relatively secure. I mean, you were literally just about 50 feet away from the King's own chamber. So, anyways, you have yet to actually spend. You have yet to have any member of the AV Club spend any amount of time here, even in downtime. So it still very much has like the accoutrements and decorations that the Sunscarred Knight left here, but most of it was taken. You're going to rest here. It was actually a little bit past 8 o'clock, so it's actually a good time to spend the rest of the night, and you do so. So. After the amount of time it actually takes to get into the chamber, like to go from the bottom floor all the way up and into the chamber, right basically when you enter the chamber, Wolford suddenly pops out of the fucking air. Nowhere.
Oh.
Mid ball scratch. He's like, oh, sorry, guys.
Yep.
I'm so embarrassed, bro.
He just shrugs and just offers a handshake. Don't leave me hanging, bro.
So Wolford is in the hizzy, and you guys bed down for the night. Is there anything else you want to do before you bed down?
Yeah, we need shawarma, I think, or pizza or something. We got to go down to the market and take out
post-credit sequence.
Yeah.
Okay, so you bed down in your chambers. You sleep very, very comfortably. Everyone is very, Wolford's back visible. Lothar can actually see again, and everyone's super happy.
Great for Lothar.
Yeah.
Yay!
So,
hey, how many torches go in one slot? Does someone know that? 6. Is it 6?
6 torches per slot.
John, can I just fill up some of my I am down to 1 torch. Can I just get 5 torches?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Torches are.
Should actually double check.
1. So one gold.
Oh, that's Barrios.
And how many rations in one slot? Is it
3.5.
So
and a half?
they actually take up 6 torches, take up 2 slots as a
Oh.
bundle. So, but up to you.
So it's 3 torches per slot. Got
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah.
That actually makes more sense. So
Those are
yeah,
big.
yeah, I'll still have the 6 torches.
Okay.
Okay.
Wolford, you go up a level.
Woohoo!
You are
not just Wolford, Lisbeth also.
Ooh. Okay, so Wolford, you go up to 6th level. It gains you only hit points, I believe.
I will take them. That is a D8, I believe. Let's roll. No whammies. Oh, that's 7.
Oh, nice. Okay, what's your max?
That is amazing. So my max will be 26.
Very good.
Ooh.
Cool. Oh, everyone also, if you had lost hit points, you gain 1 hit point back from resting.
Let's see.
And don't forget, Lothar, that you are now maximum down by 1, right? Like you cannot get higher than that.
Yeah, my current max is 22.
Cool. Lisbeth is, let's see.
She's a D6, and she's going up to. She is a level 7 druid.
Nice. Okay, so she hasn't reached the next bracket. And she's already topped out her spells, but she gets more spells. Okay, so give me a D6 roll.
Okay, come on. Oh, that's a 6.
Oh,
that
Elizabeth.
is a 6.
Killing it.
Rolling some rocks.
How many hit points does she have now?
No bonus. So she's up to 28.
28. Okay, cool. And she gains 1 more first, 1 more second, 1 more fourth. Yeah. 1 more first, second, and fourth that she can cast. Okay, so
I'm curious though. She's a retainer, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So Matt, who's higher level than her?
Nobody.
Mort.
Mort is the same level.
Yes.
So as long as Mort stays alive, she'll stick around.
Yeah. But if
But like here's a cool thing with druids though. At level 7 is when she can actually like change into animals.
oh snap.
So once per day, she can change into a different kind of animal. I think it's like a flying thing and a mammal and a reptile, I think.
reptile, bird, and mammal once per day each.
Imagine making not to start edition 4, but can you imagine making a 5th edition person wait 7 letters to do 7 levels?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
I would enjoy watching those tears.
yeah.
All right, guys. I just need to go tuck that kid in, but I'll be back in a minute to enjoy my new hit points.
Sure. Cool. All right. Then Lothar, why don't you, while we're waiting for Matt, give us your spell selection for the day.
I'm just going to keep the same spells I had. I'll just renew them. So a light, a cure light wounds, a silence 15 foot, and hold person.
Okay, cool. Amazing.
And
Yes,
John, I think this was sort of assumed, implied, but just to clarify that when Mort put the mask of Toristus on to look at the automaton,
you took it back off.
I took it back off and put it away. I didn't want him to see me wearing it, and I really didn't want to walk around with it either.
Understood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart move. Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah. So no one is aware that you actually put that on at that time. Okay, so we'll call it a day. You rest successfully, and so we'll start the adventuring day again at 8 a.m. If we'll say that Lothar went and bought torches the night before.
Yeah.
So we could start fresh. You going back up to the debouchement? Is that the plan?
I think so. Let's use the teleportation circle so we can speed it up. We do have the debouche address, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we do that, we speed that up, and then let's just head right down there and start in the great, like, we'll just go to the Great Hall, like, assuming nothing eats us before then.
Okay, so I'll say, like, traveling to the teleportation circle in the Goblin Halls, and then traveling from the teleportation in the circle in the debouche. Are we actually sure that we have the debouche address?
We have used it before.
I think we've gone from there, but I don't know that we necessarily got to it.
Let me find my file on this here.
I think that might be the mention in the works. I think that might be the case, that you don't have how to get to there. I might be wrong.
All right. Teleport.
What are you looking for?
Okay. Known locations, meaning we have the code. Palace Sitting Room, Hall of Seeing, Goblintown. We do not have the debouchement code.
Right.
Okay.
So you can only go from the debouche to Goblintown.
Yeah.
Or from, anywhere. So so you have to trudge back unless you want to take the teleport so they can circle somewhere else.
I mean,
off into the darkness.
I mean, no, John, no. We're just gonna walk up and we're gonna go to the
all right, the old-fashioned way. Okay, but these are known hallways, so
we could teleport to the Howling Caves Well of Light level and go down. But it
is that saving us any time?
Yeah. What's the status of the rugs, by the way?
One's in Gosterwick.
Yeah, we should probably like that. I don't know how that was meant to be just during this party, right? The logic was we didn't want our stash right there in case this party went bad.
And it did.
It did. But do we feel, renewed security right now? Like it's safer than in a hotel.
Where's the other rug?
Basically,
one's in Gosterwick. Where's the other one?
With us.
Isn't it? I thought it was in the stash.
UPR was carrying it, but it might be in this. It might be in the pyramid. Okay. I don't know what UPR actually did with it.
Maybe we could just have like Upior in charge right now. Well, he's not, while he's dead, in charge of like that both points of the stash. So he could go to the hotel or go back and forth and like move the stash wherever we want, or at least be overseeing it, right?
Yeah, but you still need to get the rug in Gosterwick back over to you, and that's an issue, right? Because you're going to have to walk that back. It's going to be an
actual adventure, though, John. I mean, unless we can send retainers to go do it that are not like going to be targeted by the dragon.
I just want to make the point.
A big risk.
Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. So teleportation circle it is for fast travel, but you're going to have to walk your ass back up the long way. But it is through guarded and safe, relatively safe areas. So I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it 3 turns total. I think will be fine. So it's 8:30 in the morning when you get back to the debouche. Okay. Okay. And you're heading directly back towards Goblin to the Beastmen compound via the Great Hall.
Yep, I think so.
Okay, are you going? These chambers. These are not safe chambers, but going to the Great Hall is known territory, so you could move quickly if you wanted to.
I think here's my vote, guys. Once we cross that barricade, we start going cautiously.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as we're into a place where that barricade is probably as good as any dividing line to be looking for stray zombies.
Okay, so what I'm going to say is it's going to take 2 turns to go through get to those double doors that enter into the Great Hall. All right, and you get there safely. You're going through goblins and all that kind of stuff. Now the goblins have pulled back a little bit, so that barricade is no longer there. Right, they took that out, but I will say that they basically have pulled back beyond that northern door that enters into that barricade room, and closed it because of their fear that the undead are going to take over all the old Beastmen chambers. You don't see any sign of undead at all, really, until you still don't. You walk into the Great Hall. There's no sign of undead. There is still the sort of the signs of slaughter that Nefrit did, but you don't see like blood and stuff like that. But there's no undead walking around.
All right, guys, are we quite content with our current loadout for retainers? Sam is a little beefier than both the 2 first level guys. Do we want to swap out the cleric for Sam?
I think we should. I think we should bring that cleric. I mean, if he dies, he dies. Sorry, don't let him hear
we
that.
had Sam.
Well, we sent Sam.
Sam, Lisbeth, Baronwald, and Barrios.
Bringing all four.
We felt guilty, so we brought Barrios down with us to Goblin. But right now we're at Lisbeth, Baronwald, and Barrios. But if we want to make sure we have numbers in case it's real bad, yeah, we should bring Sam too.
I think we should
XP is going to tank, but sure, let's go.
Well, no, not if Lisbeth is 7th level and so's Mortis, because
I don't think that it counts that way, right? Because she doesn't count for the Feats of Exploration.
She doesn't affect the FOE. Oh, okay.
Right.
I guess not.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Okay.
Well, but Wolford just went up a level, right? So his number just got that much further away.
Okay, so let's just do it.
Okay.
This is true. Okay, so a quite large party. We have 8 people go trudging into the Great Hall. All right. Let's see. When you return into the Great Hall itself, the redolent stench of the undead is apparent, emanating strongly through the 3 barricaded sally ports that lead into the compound itself in the east.
Right.
And somewhere off in the distance, you can hear low moans, and scratching.
Okay. Let's do it. Which one do you guys want to go through? Do you want to go through top, middle, or bottom?
I think we should go like top to bottom, no? What do you think, Ted?
I was going to suggest the bottom because it's kind of more of a straight shot over to... No, I guess it doesn't actually matter. Looking at the map.
To remind you, the maps that you want were right here.
Yeah.
In this corridor. Okay.
Right.
And then the secret door that you didn't explore in Mother's Chamber is obviously right here.
I think middle, guys. Middle. Let's do the middle.
Yep. And then we'll just get those maps and sort that out. So yes, middle it shall be.
Okay. So you approach the middle room, the middle barricade. You can definitely hear, first of all, that the beyond that barricade, you can see when you sort of peer over it that the door itself leading into the let's see what is. Give me 1 second. Can't remember which conturb this was.
Dog Company.
Dog Company. Yeah, these are the most senior of the Beastmen units. You can see that that door is open, and you can see some sort of shifting movement in the darkness beyond there as well. It's fairly obvious there's something nasty beyond. But as you contemplate your approach into that room, we have to take our second break, and we will be right back. All right, back again. Bladder's empty, beer's full. Okay, so approaching the middle of the 3 barricades leading into the Beastman territory. See movement in the darkness beyond the open door, beyond the barricade. Remember, there's like the barricade first, then there's a door, then you enter into the conturbs.
Right.
Hey guys, why don't we kite them out into the big room? So, like, why don't we light? I imagine who's got torches lit right now.
Good question. I should have been tracking that.
I think. Well, why don't we have our retainers each have a torch? So, like Barrios could carry one. Do we have their sheets out, by the way? Like, who's running?
Barrios and Baronwald right here.
Okay, I have Lisbeth.
Barrios, Baronwald has 1 torch. Barrios, of course, he's got infravision.
It's fine, Matt. We can, or Ted, we can. We have extra torches on us. We just bought some.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to go ahead and just pull up Sam then? Since
okay, so how many torches are lit?
I think we should have at least 2 or 3. Like, if we have 2 torches lit, I'm gonna light one of mine off of theirs, and I'm gonna whip it through the door.
I just hold on 1 second, the mic. I'm sorry, I got to write this down because time has passed. So, who is carrying the torches?
Let's say Baronwald and Barrios each have a torch.
Okay, cool. So, yeah. All right, so I'm going to say that because you started adventuring at 8 a.m., that those torches were lit at that time. So by the time you're at where you are right now, there's one turn left on those torches. Okay.
I'll light a new torch off of one of those. Okay. Hand the retainer the new torch. So we now have 6 turns of torches. I'll take one of the ones that's almost out and I'll whip it through the doorway.
Okay, cool. Okay, marking that down. Sorry. Okay. All right. So let me just look at the. Can't remember how these barricades sort of work out here. That's that number there.
They have doors, and I think the doors are open.
Yeah, they're just kind of weird looking. So,
well, the barricades, I think.
So they're 7-foot tall masonry walls, and they have built fighting platforms that are 4 feet up on the eastern side, so the other side of those walls, on which they can stand and project missiles over them. And each of them, so there's like a gap there, right, that they can stand on the platform and shoot arrows down. But there are also 4 foot by 4 foot, like square, small wooden doors that are set into them. So that door is shut. Okay.
One of these must be smashed though by Neferet.
Yeah, that was the northern door.
Okay.
So the northern one is smashed. Yes.
To the poor sign. Okay.
Yeah. But feel free to switch if you want to. But if you're going through this middle one, you can lob what you said, Lothar. You can lob that torch over the gap in the top, over the 7-foot gap, and through the open door into the room. Okay. You hear a hiss and increased groans. You don't see anything go up, but you can definitely see like the room is sort of like lit back there. But it's tough to kind of see what's going on.
Okay. Sam is going to go forth, and she's going to try and open that door.
Okay, yeah, she can open it. No problem.
I'll have Barrios and Mort will be right behind her.
Okay, cool. So Mort, Barrios, and Sam. Sam in the lead. She opens the door, and she kind of lets out like a little yelp as a creature rushes out towards her. To engage her through that open door. This creature is obviously not a zombie, but it does look like a beastman that is falling to pieces, is scrabbling all fours towards them with its dog head, pulled back into a rictus with gleaming teeth and abnormally large claws coming right at her. She's. You guys were aware that there were enemies, so there's no surprise. I assume everyone's got their main weapons out.
Yep.
And you can see coming towards in the background, sort of muddling around, but slowly getting their shit together because they seem to have been a bit surprised by the torch sort of lobbed into their midst. Is a mixed group of beastmen. Some of them are lolling. Some of them are just sort of like butting their heads against the wall. There's like these awful like blood stains that are sort of glistening on the wall, like where they're doing that. That are slowly turning around and looking at you. There is one that appears to was probably a beastman sergeant with a pig's head. And that one looks particularly hideous as something has eaten away at the pig's snout. So the snout is basically ripped off and hanging loosely off of it. But it was obviously wearing like officer's clothes, and it looks at you with keen, malevolent intelligence as it seems to rouse some of the other undead to action. But you're dealing with a ghoul right in front of you right now.
And the best part is Lothar now has to see this hideous visage, this rotting pig snout looking at him.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm very excited about that, actually.
Okay, so declarations. No one is in melee quite yet, so there's no melee. So any spell or spellcast, spell-like ability declarations.
Turning.
Okay.
Turning. Okay.
Turning.
Lisbeth is going to cast a spell.
Okay, so we have a whole bunch of that shit going on. Roll for initiative, please.
All right, who's up?
Oh, Mike, I think you should roll since you have a new eyeball.
I got a 2, John. A 2 is what I got.
I got a 5.
You son of a bitch.
Okay, so the ghoul slams into Sam and attempts to a little claw bite action, a little classic. What is Sam's AC?
Sam's AC is 17, John.
17. Okay.
Return.
Claw. One claw. It connects but the bite does not. So she stumbles backwards a little bit. What is she wielding?
She is wielding Set's Bane, which is a halberd.
Ooh, nasty. Okay, cool. Yeah, so she whirls that in defense, and she batters a couple of them away, but one claw slips through and gets her, and that's going to be 2 points of damage, and I need her to make a save versus paralysis, please.
Oh, she got a 15, baby.
Is that successful?
And her paralysis is a 12.
Oh, nice. Okay, so she is not affected by the ghoul paralysis, but she's yells in pain.
And 2 points, you said?
Yeah. So I'm going to say that only one of either Mort or who else came up with you, Mort? Barrios. Either one of you, one of the two of you can face that ghoul as well, because the little scrum there in the doorway is sort of blocking everything else. Because remember, it's like through the 4 foot. It's like a very small little thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
If you can make room and let Wolfherd charge up to that ghoul, because he should be immune to the paralysis if he does.
Why is that?
Because he has a ring of free action, baby.
That's right. I knew there was something. I've been sitting here going over my character sheet, trying to remember. We recently got something that would make us immune to paralysis. What was it?
It is that, and he is wearing it and wants to use it.
So it's still their turn. It's still their turn. So the zombies that are in the room, they slowly sort of turn towards you and sort of move towards the door. But then the officer, the pig-headed officer, actually drops down to all fours and starts letting out like this awful, like a pining grunt, like a, and it just makes like this horrible sound coming out of its ravaged throat, and like bubbled blood comes out of like the holes where its nose used to be, you know, where it's like drawing breath, and it bats the zombies aside and charges towards you in a more animalistic fashion than even the ghoul. And it attempts to get past the ghoul at Sam. Doing so, it actually attacks the ghoul. That's how ravenous it is to get at living flesh.
Ugh.
It's rutting season, boys. Back up against the wall.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, it hit 3 times.
Oh.
Ooh.
On the ghoul?
On the ghoul, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to do 9 points of damage, and the ghoul... so it basically just rips out the entrails of that ghoul and tosses its remnants against the side as it plows directly into Sam. It moved and attacked, so I'm going to say that it is engaged with Sam, but it is not... it can attack Sam. So it's basically the same sort of scenario. It's just that this creature has replaced the ghoul. Okay?
Okay. The ghoul was a proper ghoul that had shown up, or is it a beast man?
All the undead I'm describing now are all beast men in one shape or form.
Okay. Does Barrios recognize anybody? Like, oh, I hate that pig fucker.
Actually, Barrios, when he, when the, I'll just give it up. Like what it was a ghast that has now taken over. That ghast, he just see Barrios from behind, and sort of his low voice, he just sort of huffs out. He's like, Georgic, no.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so that's the ghoul and the ghast, and then there's some zombies.
The zombies didn't go, so now it's your turn.
Around.
Bottom of the round.
And that ghast is basically Sam could fight it.
Yep.
And one other person.
Correct.
And Wolford, you're saying you want to get up in that action.
Well, sure. I said I did.
Because it's not a ghoul anymore.
Yeah.
John, is there a stench component with that gas?
Oh, yes, there is actually. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Love you, John.
So I'm going to say that Sam, Mort, and Barrios all have to make saves versus poison, please.
Sam.
Poison.
Okay. Poison. Oh, Sam got a nat 1.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
All right. Mort rolled a 6, but that makes it.
Okay.
Ooh, goblins.
And Barrios. Oops. That's Baronwald. Where's Barrios? There you are, baby. Sweet. Barrios rolled a nat 20. He makes it.
Okay, so
Whoa.
so Sam, like that. So it's like a carrion stench that sort of wafts off this thing, just an absolutely horrible stench. She is nauseated as the thing is like right up in her face, just breathing directly into her mouth. And she's going to suffer -2 to hit while she is in melee with it, which she is.
Got it.
Okay.
All
Right. Bottom of the round.
Does my turn go off first?
So whatever you guys want to do.
So
Yeah, just
Do my
turn first.
spell casting typically happens before melee. Yeah.
We're not doing the phases anymore.
Right.
Oh.
I'm going to go ahead and do the turn first, John. I have my chart pulled up here. I rolled 2d6, I believe.
Yep.
Holy for holies, I rolled a 12.
A 12. Okay,
Ooh,
great.
that's
And your
probably
level is
good.
what? 5?
I am 5th level.
Okay. Roll 2d6 again.
This is where they get you. A 7.
That's not too bad.
A 7.
Not too bad.
Okay, that's not bad at all. Give me 1 second. Checking, scrolling down. Where are you? At the very bottom, of course, because you're a Z. Okay, so you did. Okay, cool. So, so you hold forth your holy symbol. Radiance comes shooting out of it. And the gas, which is attached to Sam, just gets. I got to check again, actually, before I get too crazy with my descriptions. Yeah, okay. So it hisses and basically backs away back into the dimly torchlit darkness of the main chamber. And at the same time, you hear an awful splutch, and you can hear blood spatter against the wall as one of the zombies just visibly explodes in that room as well.
Good job. Good
All
job.
right.
So the
Baronwald likes the
pig
sound of
guy
that.
ran back. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Baronwald wants to step up and try that too. He's like, I want to see if I can do that.
Okay.
Oh, I'm a brand new cleric. I've never done this before in my whole life. And I rolled a 9.
A 9, you're level 1.
Yep.
Okay, roll 2d6.
8.
8. Wow.
Yep.
Okay, so Baronwald steps up with the power of Mithra. Did I say the goddess right? I think I did.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like the prime like modern god of like justice and good and all that kind of stuff. She holds forth her holy symbol in tandem with Lothar. So Lothar takes care of the heavy hitter, and Baronwald. Baronwald is he's a very enthusiastic zealot. Basically, like he's very much like I've come here to kill evil, and everything is evil. It's like
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
He has a very Manichaean outlook on life. So he strides forth confidently, totally oblivious to the of any safety or anything like that. He's like, I will send forth my faith, and he turns the rest of them. They don't get destroyed, but all of those zombies that were sort of turning around at the gas behest basically turn right back around or like and start banging their heads against the wall again.
Okay, so the ghast, he's still alive?
Yeah,
Or
he's
did
still
he
alive.
pop?
Yeah. So he's still in that
still alive?
room, and he's like in the corner, like
So
Okay,
who's got oil?
Well, Lisbeth, she is going to cast her own spell on that guy. She's going to decompose him in his undead.
It's a new one. Give us the deets.
Okay, so level 2 druid spell, duration 3 rounds. So for each one of those rounds, range is 30 feet. He's going to take 2d4 damage per round as his body starts to eat away.
Is there a save involved here?
There is no save. It's kind of like heat metal. It just starts decomposing.
Oh, but it's an undead. It's versus the undead was the effect. Yeah. Okay. So how much damage does he take?
Okay, 2d4 damage per round. So
Okay.
let me tell you. Let me whip one of those out if I have one. Oh. I'm missing a d4. I was all set except for that one.
I would go with the whole
Except for
roll a
that
single
one.
d4 twice.
Okay, I got it. Here's one.
I'll take it outside the box again.
Wow. John just dropped an old school slam on you, man.
There's one.
He's not
5
doing
points. 5 points of damage.
5 points.
I think
total.
he turned off his ear pod so he wouldn't have to hear on fire.
Okay.
5 points of damage this round. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, what's the range on that, by the way?
30 feet.
30 feet.
30 feet. Yeah, you just barely make it. Yeah. Okay, and it's for 3 rounds.
It is 3 rounds. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah. So that definitely starts to, it definitely starts to work. So his flesh just starts to fall off, just visibly fall off, and it's just like howling in the corner.
Cool. Was that last, Matt?
It's three rounds.
Nice.
Okay, cool. Any other combatants want to do anything? Spellcasting went very well.
Yeah. So they're all pushed back into the room.
Correct.
Do we want to advance in a little bit?
I mean, they're not going to come out now at this point, Ted.
No, I know.
So
I'm saying we wanted to go through here.
my question is, yeah, we do. My question is can we do what we did with the ghouls in that room over by Scleros and just like douse them in oil while they're cowering and set fire to them?
We can. Wolfherd can pull out a
I have some
container of oil. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Pull some out.
Let's do that. I like
Torch
that
the
idea.
room.
Just torch the gas. The zombies I don't overly worry about, but the gas is nasty.
Well, we got to kill those things too, right? So
True, but I'm just saying rather than roast the entire room, right? We could just try to focus the fire on the gas and then deal with the
try to get
zombie.
him. Okay.
But whatever. You guys have the oil. You do what you feel.
So I'll throw the oil on him, and you can throw the torch.
Before we start throwing oil around, I believe this is the room that had the Anubis statue we were interested in. Does that sound right?
Yes, it has an Anubis statue on the south wall.
Yeah, there it is.
Right, but is that the statue that we were like we wanted to keep but had to leave behind?
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff
absolutely. That's a solid gold one.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's gold. Yeah, you don't want to melt that.
Yeah,
I
let's
mean, I
not
don't
melt
know. I don't know that torch oil gets hot enough to melt gold, but
I don't want to find out.
It's also
Okay.
it's also heavy as shit. But yeah.
all right. Well, let's do this then. Let's just we have a halberd, which is a reach weapon. We could just try and stab them at range, right?
Yeah, she has reach with that, and Wolford can throw his he can throw his spear.
Okay.
He's got Count Scleros's spear on hand right now, so he can throw that.
Okay.
Let's do something. We're still into the bottom of the first round here, so.
Yeah. So, John, Sam is going to attack. Now, she's no longer in direct combat with that guy, so is she still affected by the poison? All right, cool. So she's going to go ahead and attack him. He is considered...
No,
she's lawful, so the spear is +2.
She's not -2 anymore because she's not in melee with him.
Oh, okay, cool. All
Well,
right. I mean, she's attacking with the halberd, so it is melee,
then she is.
right?
Then she is, yeah.
Wait, she's going to attack the ghast because he's cowering and decomposing. Should we just finish off zombies?
I think we should attack the gas because I don't know how much damage the decompose is actually going to do over the whole thing.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm all about kill this, concentrate all fire on the Star Destroyer.
Yeah,
but
fine.
if there's a target of opportunities, John, that's a zombie, she'll attack that instead.
Yeah, let's get rid of the zombies and let's see how far down the decompose
Let's
takes
let
him.
Matt's spell do its thing. Come on.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
All right. So she'll attack a zombie then, John.
Okay, go for it.
All right, cool. Her hit point die, Matt, its damage isn't written on here. So is it a D10 at this point? She's a fighter, right?
What level is she?
She's like this character. She says 4th, so it's a D8. I got it. I'm good.
She'll be a D8.
No, if she's level 4, it's a D10 now.
Okay.
Oh, it is D10. Okay.
We have to update that cover sheet. All right, cool. She's going to get a 15 total, and that includes the minus.
That's good. Is it
2.
AC is 11?
Cool. And she's going to do 9 plus 2 points of damage. So she will do 11 points of damage.
Okay, she definitely kills one, and then she has, because she's a fighter, she gets cleave.
Oh, that's right. All right, cool. That's a new attack roll, right?
Yep.
Oh, this one's only going to be a 6.
6 AC total?
Yeah.
Okay, she doesn't hit the second one.
Okay.
All right, cool. But she also won. Not a problem at all. All right.
How many are there in there?
There's 3 more.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Okay,
Mort and Barrios want to go for it too. But Wolford, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, Wolford has Scleros's spear. He wants to see what it can do, right? So with his strength is +1, and he's got +2 from his Thaco. I'm not sure what he gets because it's tied in with his belt right now. If he gets additional pluses, I guess it would be a +7 total. Yeah, +7 because the Black Iron Spear is +8. So this is +7. I don't know if Scleros's spear does anything on top of that.
Are you saying you're using the Black Iron Spear or
The Scleros spear.
He's using Scleros's spear, but I don't know what the bonus is for that, if it does anything special or not.
okay? Just it's +2. Go ahead and add an additional +2.
Oh, +2. Okay.
Nice.
So I think that would be a +8 to hit, I think. Let's see. That is a 13, so +8. Yeah, that'll hit.
Yep.
And that is 2. Oh, no, that's just the Black Iron Spear. So I don't know what damage it does other than just the D10.
+2.
D10 +2. Where'd it go? Here we go. Okay. Ooh, that's a 10. That's
Okay.
12 points.
You kill another one.
Okay, so he'll attack using cleave. He'll attack the next one.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a 19 on the die, so that'll hit.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't throw the spear.
No, he ran up
Okay.
to stab them. That's a 7 + 2, 9 points for the next guy.
Killed another one. You can continue to cleave.
Oh, yes. Okay, that's an 11 on the die for a 19.
Yep, that's it.
The old guy's on fire. And that is 11 points of damage.
All right. All the zombies are dead as Wolfherd and Sam just go in fucking wailing. So nasty. Was that Sam who did the cleave? Yeah.
Yeah, Sam was the first one.
With the long range weapons. Very nicely done. Cool. So only the gas is there with its body decomposing and fully turned. I think we can call it a day with the ghast.
Okay.
As you guys hack it to pieces. Well done. All right. So
Nice.
That was noisy. You can hear. So remember how this is sort of like a weird. It leads out into like a weird kind of turning, like a weird sequence of corridor there. But you know that your maps are just beyond. However, you can hear the pattering of clawed feet, multiple, and that strange, awful slavering coming from the hallways coming at you very rapidly. So you can tell that there's multiple things and they are not moving slowly.
Can we can Sam and Wolford set first charge and get in front, and we'll just make a stand right here in this room?
Sure, right in the southeastern corridor.
Yeah, like when
Yeah,
they turn that corner, they're gonna meet spears.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and we can brace, right?
Yeah.
And I think
Set for charge.
Mort and Barrios could be up against the wall just to the north of that opening so that we could strike from, maybe surprise them.
Wedge of Doom.
Sure, yeah. So let me roll. Let's see. Okay. So they are not surprised by the spear wielders, but there still will be a chance that you. Well, let me just check. I might as well check.
And Lothar is going to be on top of that table in the middle, John.
Okay, so
That's the table.
I rolled twice. They are not surprised, unfortunately, but
Okay.
they come barreling into the room, and they do because they're ravening undead. Just throw themselves onto those spears. Where is my combat rules?
Should we get out some miniatures and a battle mat?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
Let's see. It's been a while since I did brace. Hold on. Yeah, doubles damage. Okay, so it's just a straight double. Okay, so so what comes barreling down, very like Alien 3, like crawling on the walls and kind of just overtopping themselves, like going over top. It's like just 6 ghouls, all with various kinds of beastmen head and all sorts of disarray, and they just come piling into the room as fast as they can. All right, so I'm going to rule that these guys, they can sort of overtop each other, right? So it's very difficult to sort of barricade the room, but they're not attempting to. They're going to attempt to do that sort of thing after the first initial impact on the spears. So two come wailing around the corner, one on each of your guys. Who is this again? This is Sam and Wolford?
Wolford.
Okay, cool. So you guys were ready. Let's do to declare spells.
Turn.
Turn.
Okay.
Lisbeth is going to she's going to cast a spell too.
Okay. Cool. Roll for initiative. I got 2.
All right. I failed last time. Somebody else is up.
I got it. All right. I don't got it.
What'd you roll? You rolled a 1?
Yeah.
Bummer. I rolled 2. Okay. So 2 of them are basically like they throw themselves on the spears. You are going to do double damage, but they are going to attack both of you guys. So 1 on each of you. Sam, what is your AC again? 17?
Yes.
Okay. 1 second. Sorry. Go back to Ghoul. And they got that. Okay. Claw, miss. 3 misses on Sam. And Wolford, what's your AC?
18.
18. Oop, that's a cocked. And misses on Wolford as well, as you're able to. They basically throw themselves on the spears. They're just like, blah. And the other 4 are going to, because they won initiative, they are going to crawl over their fellows, drop into the room, and we'll just call that their turn, as they're sort of like there, like over top of Wolford and Sam, right, facing the other people. Okay, bottom of the round, your turn.
Okay. Spells first, guys. Should we just do that first? See what we're dealing with.
Do the turning.
Do my turn first because it's not going to do shit.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled an 11, John.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I did.
Okay, so what'd you roll for the second?
An 8.
An 8. Damn.
Actually, turn one.
Baronwald. Holding forth the symbol of Mitra. It's like, be gone, foul creatures. And all of the four of the 6 ghouls actually scramble backwards. We'll say it's the 4 that actually hopped over the 2 that impaled on the spears and like scramble back through the thing. It's like Baronwald's like, I can get used to this adventuring thing.
Can mine be simultaneous so that if I actually blow some up, they can die?
Sure.
Okay.
Cool. Sorry, Mike. I didn't think it was going to work.
Yeah, dude.
You rolled an 11, man.
I got an 11 too.
Oh, Jesus. You guys are killing it with it. All right.
And then my next
you guys
die
didn't
roll,
want to bring him. Come on.
my next die roll is only a 6.
6. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you're going to destroy 3 of them out of the 6. Which 3 do you want to destroy?
The ones that are not impaling themselves on the spears.
Okay, so only one.
Once it got over, yeah.
Only one manages to actually escape backwards, having been turned. The other 3 go sputch against the wall. Meanwhile, Wolford and Sam, you guys can roll your double damage versus the 2. And in this version of the game, it's you roll one single time and then multiply the complete total by 2.
Gotcha.
Okay.
They have to hit first, though, right?
They have to hit first. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
All right.
AC is 13.
Sam got a 14, and we'll do 14 plus 4. You don't double the bonuses, right?
Everything total,
damage?
everything up, and then double it.
Oh, sugar. Well, and she did 22 points of damage.
Yeah, that's an X ghoul.
So we got a 15 to hit, so that'll hit. That is 3, 5, 10 points. 10 points of damage.
Okay, they both you do the classic Francis Ford Coppola impalement. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
And they lift them up, and then they slide down.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're both dead, very, very dead. As they claw at you, and they just sort of on your spears.
One might even say double dead.
Yeah. So one of the ghouls is running backwards and has disappeared around that corner, right? Wolford and Sam, you can kind of see that it moves all the way north and then around that corner.
Could Mort have taken a swipe at it as it was because of where he was, and as it fleed past him?
Yeah. You get a +2.
Okay. Well, it's a natural 20 plus all of his modifiers,
Cool.
so that's pretty good.
Do you have a crit effect on that weapon? What are you using?
It's
The
the
pin.
pin.
The pin is a short sword, right?
If I don't just outright kill him,
Okay.
which is likely. I just did 13 points of damage.
Oh yeah. Yep. You get him. You get him as he's turning tail. All right.
Right
You just tidily handled 6 ghouls. Well done.
We are
you know what,
a very high level party. I hope so.
Lisbeth's
This takes me
spell
back to the horrors of the hole in the oak where ghouls tidily handled us repeatedly.
revenge.
Yeah.
Lisbeth's spell is still going to go out. She was casting Barkskin to up her AC a bit.
Nice.
Okay. Cool. Chink.
All right. Let's keep pushing, guys.
Okay, so you move carefully around the corners there, and untouched, because the undead don't care, maybe a little bit of bloodstained, are your 2 very valuable maps. I will point them out again to the audience there, on the right side of your map there, Ted. Appears to be a working map that allows you to complete the Beastmen compound, which you've already done. But this is what the Beastmen know of and has some interesting notes on it. And then on the upper left here, is what appears to be the at least part of the Temple of Thoth that was defaced by the Setites and some of the surrounding areas. So very valuable. That one's probably more valuable to you at this point, because it does have some interesting stuff, some interesting chambers that you have not entered yet.
Okay.
Well, this does have a couple of other chambers along that entrance to the Great Hall. We haven't really looked through those rooms.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then there's some stuff connecting.
You've been in there, but just not every single room. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff connecting sort of between the lower corridor that we have been through. Below that, there's some stuff we haven't seen. So
no, you've been through there too. They escorted you out into the that platform so you could overlook the fungal caverns at one time.
No, the whole stretch between that and the corridor we have been through, we have not been through, because it connects up with that room.
That's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This area over here.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, it's a good map to have.
John,
how long does it take us to take it down?
Yeah, is it quiet enough that we can do this?
Nothing is really quiet. You could definitely hear the moaning of undead on all sides, but you don't see anything. But it would take a turn to pack it all up.
I say we take it, and one person can cut it down, maybe, and everybody else is ready, waiting for monsters.
All right. Who's going to carry it?
Barrios has very little in his pack.
Okay.
So I will add. So is it like canvas, John? Painted canvas?
Yeah, so each one is like a slot.
Okay. And what's the other map?
Same thing.
Oh, it takes 2 pieces to get the whole map? Is that?
No, there's two maps, as I explained. One's in the to the right of your map, and one's to the left of your map there.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Remember I said
thought that was one we got from
right.
somewhere else.
Yes. No, I got it. I misunderstood what you were saying. I get it now.
Yeah.
Painted canvas.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I'm wrong.
Yeah, the one that's way to the left, that smaller one, we got from somewhere else. We got that from.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I misplaced. So the other one is actually, if you go to the map 8 in the right-hand side, it gives you what the Beastmen know of the form of Set and its main approaches. So very, very valuable. I'm sorry, that was my bad. Okay, so each one of those.
Oh
yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah.
The long stair, that one. Okay.
Very important, right?
Cool.
Because you should recognize some of those areas down there in the south.
Yes.
You see that where it says strange pillar, avoid if possible, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, so each one of those is a slot. It's going to take a turn. So each of the combats also took a turn. So it's going to take a total of 3 turns since you entered the compound. 1, 2.
Got 3 rounds left on that one torch, guys. So we might want to have another one ready to go.
That's correct, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, so you continue on after collecting the maps. What's your destination here?
I think we go to the command HQ, keep on pushing down that hall.
Since we're in there, yeah.
We should probably check the mage's room and make sure there's nobody lurking in there.
That's where the maps are, isn't it? Or are they in the hallway?
I thought they were in the hallway.
They're in the hallway.
I might be stupid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we checked the mage's room then.
Okay, so you're moving towards the mage's room.
Yeah.
Where is my cursor? Too many screens.
Yours is
Also,
down
we could like while somebody's cutting those down, we could peek through the arrow slots and see what's in there, so we're not surprised.
I mean, it's dark, real dark.
Well, I know a goblin who can see in the dark.
He can't reach the arrow slots though.
So you're going to look through those arrow slits?
I lift him up like a toddler getting a drink of water from a water fountain.
This is humiliating. We don't need to do it this way. We'll go look in the mage's room.
So there's that concealed door there. Yeah. Wait a second. Where is it?
It goes to the harem of Sheep Company.
She kind of seems a little sus, right?
Are you looking through that curtain, or are you looking through the arrow slits there, Mort?
Mort and Barrios will go around and move the curtain to the side.
Okay.
Ready for something to hop out at them.
Okay. Aware that there's probably danger. I'm not going to say you're surprised, but when you kind of move the curtain aside in silence, huddled over what appears to be some other corpses, there is 1, 2, 3. There are 4 robed figures, which were obviously the mages at one point. They are completely scorched, which you did actually see those corpses before as a result of Nephrit's killing. So they're these blackened, awful things, and when they kind of turn their heads, you can't even tell what kind of heads they used to have, but they have these red gleaming eyes and the blackened flesh, and they turn towards you. And they rush towards that curtain. And it looks like when we pick up next time, you're going to be immediately fighting 4 ghasts all at once.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So pretty nasty. So, but we are at time exactly, but it's a good place to stop it.
All right.
So yeah.
Is it a good place to stop it?
So you got the maps. You still have yet to investigate Mother's secret chamber, but you're pushing through, and you've killed a whole bunch of undead very handily. So well done.
All right, babies.
Cool. And Lothar can see. Yay! It's been very effective.
Yay!
Turn undead is
This
wonderful.
Is amazing.
Thing. Cool. All right. Good session, guys. Thank you everyone for watching and or listening to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. What do we have to say here? I've lost my train of thought.
I don't know. We can just talk.
Yeah.
We can just chit chat.
I have to do what YouTube tells me to do, which is to tell everyone to please, it's called the call to action, as they say, please don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications every time we publish new material. And don't forget to, if you have the wherewithal, to support us through our Patreon, get a couple of cool bennies, access to some secret channels on our Discord server, which is a lot of fun at all hours of the day. And check out our loan publication, which has been found useful by a large part of the OSR community. It's called Feats of Exploration, so go check that out as well. And thank you to all of our patrons, our explorers, delvers, and especially, of course, our conquerors. Matt, take it away with who those fine people are.
Awesome. I get to thank them. Okay, we have a new conqueror. Welcome, John Hooker. I also like to thank Kayla Ripley Wolf, Zachary Hall, Saps, Papa Bear, Zach Shiflett, Mercury 605, Ruben D. Collar, Dave Rosser Jr., Andrew, Dakota Nielsen, Can, Stephen Kessenberry, Brad and Aiden, the Logan family, Kabrowskis, Chad Cartier, Magic Meat Machine, Tom Leary, Phil, Jeff Tokach, got it? G Tokyo Time, Nick, Terry Barney, Eric Lawson, Mando NZ, Faisal, James Dewig, Nefarious Gamer, Grunt, Andrew Schroker, MM, Michael Schilling, Stefano Di Maiolo, Ash Gabriel, the Hex Brawler Twins, Summon Toast, Adam the DM, Scott Yearsley, Mech Jack, Kick Maniac, Dyer Grew, Tom Eric Gerritsen, not Matt but not least, and here come my Matts, Matt Mason, Matt Gardner, Matt Koenig, Matt Young, and I want to do a call to action. We need more Matts. So if any Matt out there is on the fence, come on,
Come to the
join
Conqueror
us on
level.
the side of the fence.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good. It's good on this side.
There's never any
Thanks, everybody.
Ted.
Really.
Always Max.
Yeah, where are the Teds?
Come on.
Or Mike's, or
we
John's.
got one.
Yeah.
How many more do we need? Anyway, thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you very much for your
Thank you
continued
very
support,
much.
people. It really means the world to us. We really appreciate it. Everyone have a great week, and we will see you next time. Take care. Bye.
See you. Thank you, John.